Okay. So all of you know that we are moving from physical machine to virtual machine. That is basically to have resource utilization effective. We'll create multiple virtual machines inside a single physical machine. Say, for example, if you are running a service, say service one. How do I access service one from physical machine? So this one you can call it as host machine, right? This one is virtual machine one. This is two. This is three. This is four. Correct? So if I want to, from this machine, say I open a terminal, I want to access service running in this particular machine. What do I need to do? How do I access the service which is running in the VM? I need to access only by using the VM IP address. VM will have an IPv4 address, or it may have a local network called bridge. Using that, we can access either the private IP or a public IP. Something similar to we access EC2 instance from the internet, right? We use a public IP. But when you are inside a either AWS console or inside a VPC, from other machine, we can access the same EC2 instance using the private IP address. You don't necessarily need a public IP address. Is it clear to people? Is it clear? Because Kushal.
Shankar, that inside the VM, I did not understand. Shankar.
See,
IPv4 host
yeah,
thing.
okay. How do you create an operating system on a virtual machine? You need to have a definitely a unique address for the machine. Without a unique IP address, you cannot create a virtual machine. It is like a simple operating system that you create on top of your existing machine, existing operating system. That will have all the complete packages, everything, and it will have a IP address in order to access any service running inside a VM. For that, you probably require some amount of uh, hands-on with the virtualization concept, like creating a VM, running some services inside a VM, accessing the service from the host machine. Okay. See, let me go like this. I'll explain once again. Just try to understand this way. Say, this is your host machine, right? You may have Windows operating system on this, Windows OS. Inside, you're creating a virtual machine, multiple virtual machines. Say it is Linux, it's probably Ubuntu. Like that, you have multiple Linux operating system inside, or you also have Windows machine. How do you access these Windows machines? You have to log into the host machine, which is your Windows machine. From there, you can use Git Bash to log into the virtual machine, or you can use RDP, remote desktop protocol, remote desktop protocol, I guess. Using that, you can log into the Windows machine. Like that only, we can log in. So we can use SSH. So here VM is exactly equivalent to EC2. Since it is on your local host, you call it as a virtual machine, not EC2 or uh, cloud virtual machine. So we just call it as a virtual machine. So how do you access host virtual machine from the host machine? Either SSH See, the only way is SSH. You can use passwordless or with password. You can log into the virtual machine.
Got it, Shankar. Yes.
Okay. So here we say it's a host machine. This is a virtual machine, right? Similarly, when it comes to Docker container, right? For example, your VM is running, say HTTPD service. Say on this VM, you are running a HTTPD service. That is nothing but Apache. Can I run Apache on this machine also?
Yes, Shankar, we can run.
You can run, right? So basically, it's definitely isolated, right? This VM is isolated, this VM is isolated. You can run same HTTPD Apache server on this machine as well. The only thing is you cannot run one more Apache server on the same machine because there will be conflict of ports and packages. That's why you cannot run multiple Apache server on the same VM. So what we end up doing is we create multiple virtual machines and then run your Apache server on this. Same thing goes with Docker container. Here, it's a host machine. This is a virtual machine. So virtual machine will have a IP address, and inside you will have a Apache service running. Here we call it as a VM port. In case of Docker, I want you to answer it. Okay. So here it is a virtual machine. In that we are running multiple Docker containers. I say D1, D2, D3, and D4. Here, virtual machine is called host. Okay, no matter whether it is a virtual machine or a physical machine, we should call this as a host machine because you are hosting your container inside your virtual machine. That is why it is called host machine. Okay. Host is nothing but a VM in which you are running Docker containers inside. Each Docker container is a small operating system. Is it true?
Yes, Shankar.
Small operating system, and it is isolated. It is lightweight. So everything you understand about Docker, right? At least theoretically. So each Docker
Yes.
container is a separate operating system running a specific service, not multiple service. Running a specific service, right? It could run like usually the purpose is only run particular service, just run one service, say HTTPD. Okay. Say how person from outside can access the service running in the Docker. For that, he has to be exposed to a host port, HP. I'll just write it as HP. And this one is like a CP, container port. So container will be running on a particular port, say 80, and it will be exposed to the outside world using the host port 8080. So person coming from outside will be able to talk to only the host port, not the container port. So the internal communication will happen from 8080 to 880, which is nothing but a Docker communication. That will make sure that running application is served to the customer who is requesting the application. Is it clear?
Shankar.
Okay. So basically, host port is nothing but which is directly available to the customer. Container port is something which is not available to the customer. Host port to container port is done internally. That is why we have to, when we run the container, we have to mention what is your host port, what is your container port. Container port should always be on the port in which the container is designed. Say if your container is designed to be running on port 80, you should make sure it is on 80. So some configuration that is there by default in your properties file. So every application will have a default port in which it will be running. That port you should be aware on which port it should be running. This host port can be anything. It is up to you. It can be up to 0 to 65535. Okay. Any doubts, any clarity required?
For me, clear, Shankar.
Okay. I'll do one thing.